Let's talk about the driver of supply chain and how it impacts the performance of the supply chain. The first driver is always the facilities. What are facilities? Actually, they are the actual physical locations in the supply chain network where the product is stored, assembled, or fabricated. The two major types of facilities are production sites and storage sites. Decisions regarding the role, location, capacity, and flexibility of facilities have a significant impact on the supply chain's performance. For example, in 2003, Amazon increased the number of warehousing facilities and as a result experienced an increase in PP&E that is known as the poverty plant and equipment. So if we are talking about that, so what it happened is the number of warehousing facilities located close to customer to improve its responsiveness. As you have seeing it now with the Prime and all, you are getting your products delivered within 2 or 3 days of time frame. Maybe on the same day if you are living in a high rise or metro cities or a tier one cities. Tier 2, tier 3, it's still 2 to 4 days. That's actually a good margin to keep a customer happy. In contrast, if we talk about US, the Best Buy tried to improve its efficiency in 2013 by shutting down retail facilities, even though it reduced responsiveness. Facility costs show up under PP&E if facilities are owned by the firm or under selling general and administrative if they are leased. Just a second, I'm sorry for this slowness of my voice because there was a power outage and suddenly the power came on. Yeah, so let's continue. This was the talk about facilities, and let me just quickly go through the next one, that is inventory. So, what is inventory? Inventory encompasses all the raw materials, the work in progress, and finished goods within a supply chain. The inventory belonging to a firm is reported under assets. Changing inventory policies can dramatically alter the supply chain's effectiveness and efficiency and responsiveness. Let's take an example of WW Gengar makes when it makes itself responsive by stocking large amount of inventory and satisfying customer demands from stock, even though the high inventory levels reduces their efficiency. Such a practice makes sense for Gengar because its products hold their value for a longer time. A strategy using high inventory levels can be dangerous if the fashion apparel business, though, in which inventory loses its value relatively quickly with the changing seasons and trends. If you can check, if the fashion apparel tend to have a large amount of same color shirts and all those things, they will be getting vanished easily during the first 10 days, first 1 month. After that, when the trend is changed, that time the demand for those particular t-shirts or shirts will be very less. Like you can say, take example of the Spanish apparel retailer Zara that has worked hard to shorten new product and replenishment lead times. As a result, the company is very responsive but carries low level of inventories. So this was our second point about the inventories. Just let me quickly cover up the next point, the next topic, that is transportation. Transportation entails moving inventory from one point to another in the supply chain. That's a very basic lingo. Transportation can take the form of many combinations of modes and routes, each of its own performance characteristics. Transportation choices have a large impact on supply chain responsiveness and efficiency, that's for sure. For example, a mail order catalog company can use a faster mode of transportation, such as FedEx, to ship products. Thus, makes its supply chain more responsive, but also less efficient because the cost will be more. So, given the higher cost associated with using FedEx, McMaster-Carr and Gringer, however, have structured their supply chain to provide next day delivery service to most of their customers using ground transportation. They are providing a high level of responsiveness at lower cost. Outbound transportation costs of supplies and shipping to the customer are typically included in selling, general, and administrative expenses, where the inbound transportation costs are typically included in the cost of goods sold. So that was our third part, which we have covered till now. Let's just quickly move to the next part, that is information. Now here I think most of you who will be listening to this audio or this video will be a part of. I don't think so if a person is in transportation, he will be going to a YouTube and searching supply chain basics. So information, it consists of data and analysis concerning facilities, inventory, transportation, cost, prices, and customer throughout the supply chain. Information is potentially the biggest driver of performance in the supply chain because it directly affects each of the other drivers. So information presents management with the opportunity to make supply chains more responsive and more efficient at the same time. For example, 7-Eleven Japan has used information to better match supply and demand while achieving production and distribution economies. The result is a high level of responsiveness to the customer demand while production and replenishment costs are lowered. Information technology related expenses are typically included under the operating expense, typically under selling, general, or administrative expenses. Or if you can say, you can name it as assets also. For example, in 2012, Amazon included 4.54 billion dollars in technology expense under operating expense and another 454 million under fixed assets to be depreciated. So quickly we are closing this here, and it's of moving to our next part, that is sourcing. So the next part will you, if you are a consultant, you will be working on sourcing too. The sourcing is a choice of who will perform a particular supply chain activity, such as production, storage, transportation, or the management of information. At the strategic level, these decisions determine what functions a firm performs and what functions the firm outsources. Sourcing decisions affect both the responsiveness and efficiency of a supply chain. So, like after Motorola, right? After Motorola outsourced most of its production to contract manufacturers in China. For instance, it saw its efficiency improve, but the responsiveness suffer because of the longer lead times. So, to make up this drop in responsiveness, Motorola started flying in some of its cell phones from China, even though the choice increase the transportation cost, right? So because to cover up the responsive, you have to be more responsive to the customer demands. Flextronics, an electronics contract manufacturer, is hoping to offer better in both of them, like the both responsive and efficient sourcing options to its customer. So what it was trying was it was trying to make production facilities in high cost location that is very responsive while keeping its facilities in low cost countries efficient. So if there is a tier one, that location will be responsive facilities, and if it's in tier two, tier three, it will be a low cost country efficiency. So it depends on the countries also. So Flextronics hope that it will become an effective source for all the customer using the combination of this kind of facilities. The same thing which the Zara do. So absolutely sorry for this. So that is what it is like that, and then sourcing costs show up in the cost of gold sold, goods sold, and I think and monies owed to supplier and recorded under accounts payable. Okay, so moving on to the last one, and that will be our pricing. So for pricing, let me tell you what actually happened. So pricing determines how much a firm will charge for goods and services that it makes available in the supply chain. Pricing affects the behavior of the buyer of the goods or services, right? So does it what it will do? It will affect the demand and supply chain performance also because of the behavior if what the buyer is doing for the goods. So let me give you an example of it. Suppose a transportation company is there that varies its charges based on the lead time provided by the customer. So as you know, let me tell you one thing. What's happening right now is after in India, after this COVID pandemic has come, and I am not sure at what point of time you are uh, listening to this. So just I want to have a quick word that what happened here was that after the COVID pandemic hits, every employee was who was in the IT sector has asked them, their employer have asked them to work from home. And as a result, what happened is they started working from home. They went to their native hometown. As you know, in India, there is Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, and other major cities are the hub for this IT industry. So the people are going there and working there. But mostly now everything is changed as people are mostly working from their hometown, and with the with the broadband services improving in India day by day, with the fiber connection coming from Airtel and Jio, that's how this thing happened. So now what happened is, like, after 4 to 5 months, the particular people who are working from home, they thought of thinking that the bachelors, especially the bachelors, they thought of thinking why to pay extra rent. That is, most for the most of the bachelor, it's around 20% of their income they are paying on rent, and they had to leave the houses. So what happened in India was that there was a immediate rush in packers and movers, and that was due to the system of cleaning the houses, leaving the houses earlier. There was a certain rush and need of packers and movers, and due to the COVID lockdown and containment zone, those needs were not they were the packers and movers were not able to check it out and fulfill the needs. So then they came up with a different scenario that how they will be doing it. So they came up with this, that what is the urgency of it, and then they started charging on that basis. So this is what pricing refers to as a transportation company. And if you see differential pricing, what does is it provides the responsiveness to the customer and value it. And low cost to customer does not value responsiveness as much, as we know. So any changes in pricing affects the revenue directly, but could also affect the cost based on the impact of this change on the other drivers.